Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and today we're going to take a look at how to start a Soulblight Gravelords Warband using the Crimson Court, a box set which is available from Warhammer Underworlds. Now, in the latest Tome of Champions, the Tome of Champions 2021, you can find the rules for a ton of the Warcry warbands available in that book, and the Crimson Court is one such warband. In this video, we're going to go through and talk about all the models in the Crimson Court, talk about what they can do on the table and how we can use them to start our force, before looking at some other units to bring in and expand upon these initial purchases, and then finally finish off the video with a little sample 1000 Renown Warband for you to use as some inspiration for creating your own Soulblight Gravelords force, focusing around that Crimson Court. Now, the Crimson Court, we have 4 members here, and Prince Duval is our leader option. Toughness 4, 26 wounds, 4 attacks at strength 4 in close combat, and 2/6 on the damage. Makes him pretty decent all round, and a 5-inch movement as well. We've got a couple of cool abilities. First of all, a double that all our fighters can use is called the Thrill of the Hunt. If the next attack action made by a fighter, this activation targets an enemy fighter with any damage points allocated to them, you add 1 to your attacks and strength characteristics. So pretty nice, just straight up there. And we've also got Fiendish Lure, which can be used by our leader, which is Prince Duval. Now, this, until the end of the battle round, you add 1 to the damage points allocated by each critical hit from attack actions made by friendly fighters that target an enemy fighter within 6" of this fighter. This is for a double, so pretty cool. He sort of like mesmerizes someone in his dark, creepy eyes. Look into my eyes, I'm the captain now. But alongside him, we have Gorath the Enforcer, this is the guy with the giant 2-handed mace. 18 wounds, toughness 4 again, which is pretty solid, and then 2 attacks only, but at a 2-inch range, strength 4, 3/6 on the damage, so a couple of nice heavy hitting attacks. You've then got Velis von Fane. She is the dual swashbuckling, wielding, big head, pirate looking lady you see on the left there. She's got 4 attacks, strength 3, 1/5 on her damage, so more attacks, less damage though coming out of her. Still toughness 4 as well, and 16 wounds, a little bit lighter than Gorath, but still a solid fighter nonetheless. Lastly, at the back, we have Ennius Curseborn. 16 wounds and toughness 3 is his downside. However, he can fly, which is really cool, and 4 attacks, strength 3, 1/4 on the damage. So, you know, a nice bit of mobility on our side there with his 6-inch move, and fly, of course, making it really easy for him to go over obstacles, up terrain, and all that sort of stuff. Really useful when we've got other sort of slower moving, ground trotting fighters. With all of this, this is a decent start for a warband. You've got a good group of decent fighters, some utility there in Ennius Curseborn, and a solid leader. Let's look at how we can expand upon this though. And so, where to next with our warband? Now, the cool thing we get is, straight away, some of the abilities for the Soulblight Gravelords allow us to bring back minion characters. So, I definitely want to look at bringing in some minions for our Soulblight Gravelords. And the first of these, I think, are the Death Rattle Skeletons and Deadwalker Zombies. These are pretty standard troops. Both of them have their bonuses and their pluses compared to the other, which is really cool, but they're just generally going to give you those bodies on the table you might be wanting. Now, the big difference here between the two, first of all, you have your Skeleton Warriors. You're going to be able to take a Skeleton Champion in them as well. The Skeleton Warrior at base has a toughness of 4 and 8 wounds. You get up to 12 wounds when you go with that Skeleton Champion, and you get an extra attack on the model as well, but it's always equipped with the Ancient Blades, so only ever what gets a 1-inch range on the champion. The Warriors, on the other hand, can go with Spears if they want to get a 2-inch range and 1/4 on their damage. The other thing you can take in opposition to this is you could choose to have a Deadwalker Zombie. They have 10 wounds when comparing them to the Skeleton's wounds of 8, so they're somewhere in the middle of the Skeleton and the Skeleton Champion. They also have toughness 4, which is pretty nice, but only ever 2 attacks at strength 3, 1/4 on the damage. So they are going to drop down, you know, not get as many attacks as the champion that would there, but they're going to get, you know, the same amount of attacks out of them, but they're not got the range of the Skeleton Warriors with the spears. So you've really got to make up your mind on what you sort of want to go here. I really like the Skeletons that little bit more. I think the spears give you a lot of versatility in combats and fights. Now, we've then got Graveguard as well. Graveguard are a much more elite skeleton option. 3 attacks, strength 4, 1/4 on the damage if you choose to go with the White Blade and Crypt Shield. They also have toughness 4 and 10 wounds apiece. You can choose to get them a little bit more offensive if you go with the Great White Blades, but you do give away some of their defense for that ability as well. Lastly, I want to talk about the Vargskir. I think he's a really nice addition to your force. You don't really have any massive big monsters in your force, so a Vargskir with 35 wounds, toughness 4 is a really nice distraction piece for your opponent. This means your vampires can go around, so the Crimson Court themselves can go around dealing the damage, and the Vargskir will do damage by itself. 2 attacks at strength 5, 3/6 on the damage. He will punch out some attacks there, really nice. He's also got the agile keyword, which is really cool. Which means you can take a double and not count vertical distance for the model moving. But he's just going to pack out some decent hit and be a nice big distraction piece while your vampires, who probably actually do the damage for your warband, go out and actually take more out than he will, but he'll be a big fat distraction piece with those 35 wounds. And so here we have our sample warband. We're obviously in Soulblight Gravelords, and our leader is going to be Prince Duval. Now, fighters, we've got all the members of the Crimson Court, and there Gorath and Velas are really great, and gives us a nice flying, faster moving piece that can ignore a lot of the stuff, like terrain on the board. We then, for some summonable guys, have a Graveguard with White Blade and Crypt Shield, a Skeleton Champion, and a Skeleton Warrior with Ancient Spear. These will form, a nice little bodyguard and can definitely walk around with Prince Duval, who can then raise them back up if they ever need to. He's really solid when he's got like a nice little bit of an entourage around him. Meanwhile, you can have Velas and Nias and Gorath all sort of doing their own thing or working in tandem together, and the Vargskir is a nice big distraction piece for the force as well. I think is that nice little addition. It also flies as well, worth remembering. Now this is a perfect 1,000 points or 1,000 renown, whatever you want to call it. 141 wounds is on the upper end of, the average. I think it's probably slightly above average, to be fair, on what we're seeing for a lot of Warcry warbands. So this is a fun warband. You've definitely got Prince Duval and his little entourage of skeletons around him. You then can have Gorath and Velas and the Vargskir all causing problems. And you've got I think is a really nice utility piece to have around. He's really cool working around Prince Duval, while you've got his skeletons sort of on the ground level and his objectives up higher or things that are shooting you, send Anais after them, and you can have the Vargskir and the 2 other vampires sort of pushing into your enemy's territory and lines. If you've managed a chance to play with the Crimson Court in Warcry, let us know how you've been going and what you would do down in the comments below. And if you're playing with Soulblight Gravelords, I'd love to hear from you and what you think of the Crimson Court as well. That's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, drop us a comment down below in the comment section and let us know what you enjoyed about the video and what you'd like to see more of on the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here we have at Sinful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked in the video's description. Also linked in the video's description is our Patreon and YouTube members, where you can go to help support the channel and allow us to keep doing what we're doing. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, Kenny Lauer, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giappi390. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, and Monty's Tabletop Terrain. And lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now, everyone.